Hi, I'm Bart Rienties. I'm a professor of learning analytics at the Institute of Education Technology at the Open University, and it's a great pleasure to be here at ICERI. Yes, the Open University has applied learning analytics since 2014. We've always incorporated learning analytics with our teachers, so we work together with our teachers to see, okay, how can we improve their learning and teaching experience? And we make these learning analytics dashboards available to all our teachers so they can basically see which students are doing well and which students are not doing not so well. So the outcomes of the learning analytics projects has been an improved retention of our students. We see that if teachers are actively using our learning analytics dashboards, they have a 5 to 10% better retention rates relative to teachers who are not using learning analytics tools. Yeah, the most critical aspect of encouraging teachers to use learning analytics is to really understand their motivation. If teachers are appropriately supported with using learning analytics tools and giving the right amount of training and feel comfortable using learning analytics tools, they're more likely to use learning analytics. Also, if it's part of their job role, if they know that part of their activities is to actually look at these dashboards, we see that teachers are more likely to use these tools. So we have to really critically reflect on what's the role of the educator and how can we encourage them to be more empowered with these learning analytics data. So any university collects data about their students. So every university collects data about whether a student has passed a module or not, has done well on a particular assignment, or for example, has attended a particular class. So all these data, whether you're an online university or a face-to-face university, are really powerful to better understand what are your students doing and how could you better support them. Yeah, the key of making sure that you can use your data appropriately for your students is to have a very clear data governance policy. Ideally, what we, for example, have done at the Open University is to consult with students which data can we use and which data can't we use. So it's a negotiation with the students and the student union, but you have to be very clear and talk with the students what informed consent you can obtain from the students, and also explain them why they might benefit from using these data. We've seen a lot of tools come around in the last 20 to 30 years, probably since the beginning of ICERI. Many have come and many have went, but I think this is different because this is not owned by institutions. It's everywhere. It's freely available to everyone. So my guess in the next 5 years is that this will radically transform education because it's free to use for anyone. So we have to really critically look at institutions. Okay, if these tools are going to be available for all our learners, what are we going to do? Is it still useful to have assessments, for example? Should we, as Pat mentioned before, should we learn students to code or not? So these are really fundamental questions that could empower education, but also could threaten education. I think it's really essential that Europe is coming together on this, because we are not part of all these amazing AI tools. These are generated by American companies, and we are a little bit behind on everything. So one of the things that we should do as institutions is to pool our research and technical and knowledge strengths together, because I think we should develop this in-house for Europe. So to answer your question of should it be institutional or open, I think it should be a European AI policy that brings all this expertise together. The key skill is to be a human, to be able to communicate with others, to communicate with machines, to be able to communicate with other learners, and to be extremely critical what's happening around you. And that criticality and being human is oftentimes forgotten when you, for example, teach your introduction to economics or your introduction to chemistry, because the core focus is mostly on content. But I think we should train basically the 21st century citizen. I remember very vividly when I was studying economics at Maastricht University, I was forced to work in a small group with an Hungarian student, and I was really upset. I was like, why do I want to work with this Hungarian student? I don't want to work with an Hungarian student. I want to work with my fellow Dutch students. And after getting to know that student, I was like, oh, there is a completely different world out there. And since that initial interaction, I've lived longer abroad than I have lived in the Netherlands. It really has opened my eyes. So I guess what I'm trying to say in an articulate way, we as educators have to put students into uncomfortable situations. Learning is hard, but it is extremely beneficial if you sometimes are put into an uncomfortable situation, because you learn so much more from complexity than from the easy route. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here in Seville. On a personal note, I tried to learn the flamenco for 3 years. I've never succeeded, and I had the most amazing experience here in Seville. So come to Seville next year. And the conference has been extremely great, really great. So thank you very much for that.